Yep, scores. Okay, all right, let's move on. All right, let's start with a quick unboxing of the tablet. So first here we have the tablet itself. I'm going to put this aside and see what else we have. It's actually quite a compact tablet, which I quite like. So here we have a SIM popper. Let's see what else we have inside the box here. Most likely some cables. And here we have a USB-C to USB-C cable. Nothing else inside the box. I'm going to put it back because we don't really need to take a look at that. And here we have most likely a power brick. And there we have a power brick. This is a Teclast branded power brick. I'm just going to take a look at the specs here. And this is a 20-watt power brick. So okay, I guess, but also not the best, but good enough for a tablet of this size and price. So don't forget that. And underneath we have a user manual here, as well as a warranty card. And you know, that's all we have in the box. Fairly minimal packaging. Let's take a look at the tablet itself. All right, this is the tablet itself, and I gotta say this is quite a good looking tablet. You've got a full metal back here, and you have two cameras, although I don't expect them to be good. They're probably gonna be quite bad. You also have a little plastic, a rubber part over here, most likely for reception. And then let's do a quick screen peel here. There we go. There we go. Nice screen peel for us there. And let's take a look at the actual tablet itself. And on the top here we have a power button as well as volume rockers. And on the bottom we have absolutely nothing, but if you look over here, you'll see that there is a 3.5mm headphone jack, which is quite nice to see. And on this side we have a USB-C port as well as the SIM tray. And on this side we have speakers, which are also on here as well. Actually, I should go back here. So there we go, speakers there as well. So let's turn on the tablet and see what we got. Alright, this is the tablet as it stands. The bezels are small-ish. They're actually not bad at all. They're pretty decent size. Just note that the picture on the Teclast website makes the tablet look smaller, or the bezels look smaller than they actually are. This is how big they are. So they're just about right for a finger to be put on without touching the screen, so that's nice. And the bezels are the same size all around, which is quite nice. You have a camera up top. So overall, I'm quite pleased with the build quality of the tablet. It's quite sturdy. I'm trying to flex it. As you can see, I don't see much flex. It feels quite nice. That's the only thing that I would say is a negative, is the fingerprints. This metal shows fingerprints like crazy, so that is something you will have to be aware of. So we're going to turn on the tablet, and that is what it looks like right now. The screen here is quite good. It's a 2000 by 1000 screen, I believe, or thereabouts, and the maximum brightness is, as you can see, 300 nits. Not amazing, but also this tablet's not super expensive, so you cannot really expect it to be that bright. The screen itself looks pretty good. So here, this is an IPS display, and this display has a 60 Hz refresh rate. It doesn't have high refresh rate like 90 Hz or 120 Hz, but you cannot really expect that from a tablet of this price. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up a 4K video, which is the one we always use, Costa Rica, and we'll compare the quality of the screen, and I'll show you that it's actually quite good. So let's turn the quality up to maximum, and we'll go from there. I'm going to turn the volume down. It's already down, and there we have it. That is quite a good screen. I gotta say, that screen looks good. Of course, OLED is always going to be a little bit punchier, but there are times when OLEDs can be a little bit oversaturated, whereas the IPS is usually a little bit truer to color. Just note that it does have a little bit of a blue tint that you cannot really tell through the camera, but as you can see, the clarity is absolutely amazing. This is a 2K display on a 10-inch tablet. It also has decent brightness. The colors are quite good. In fact, the response time is decent as well. I'm quite impressed with the screen here. It's quite a good screen, especially considering this is actually even cheaper than the previous tablet that they have, the T40 Pro. Very impressed. So we're going to continue watching a little bit until we get to something a little bit more bright and colorful. I think there's a green lizard coming up. There we go. Look at the vibrancy of that screen. It's quite a sight to behold. I'm going to turn it up to maximum just to show you how bright it can get. It's probably going to overpower the camera, to be honest. Oh, actually not. It's actually looks even better now. Maximum brightness is about 300 nits, so overall quite good. Let's talk about the last few things with regards to the screen. The touchscreen sensitivity is decent. I'll say it's not super amazing, but it's good enough. So you won't get any ghost touches. Whenever you see the tablet hitch, it's actually because of the software and not because of the hardware. And I'm going to show you minimum. Well, you saw maximum brightness already. You can see it kind of overpowers the camera a little bit. I'm going to turn it all the way down to minimum, and that's actually not very dark. So it'll be a little bit bright if you're looking at it in a dark environment, but you can get apps to reduce it, but that's obviously not something you want to do. So that is a little bit of a negative against this. The minimum brightness is not very minimum at all. Okay, let's move on to audio. And moving on to the audio, okay, the audio here is super duper loud. Quality is decent, but the audio is very, very, very loud. You cannot even imagine, so here we go. As you can hear, that was so loud. Audio quality is not great, it's average. Let's talk about battery life. I'm very happy with the battery here. You have a very large battery pack, and the battery efficiency is very good. I could get 15 hours of playback time on YouTube. That was absolutely incredible. There are some caveats with regards to the battery, but overall very, very good. 15 hours of playback time. You browsing the web, you could do 9 hours. You're reading comics, maybe 10 hours on Chrome, let's say, for example. So no problem at all. Very, very good. Standby time is a little bit iffy. I saw it drain quite fast overnight. I think I was getting like, how many percent? 2% battery drain per hour. That's not low at all. So I suspect it's a firmware issue because I have my Teclast T40 Pro right here, which uses the exact same chipset right there, and the exact same chipset as this Teclast T40 Air. And this one doesn't have that bad battery drain. It's like maybe 0.5% per hour. So suspect it's a firmware thing, but they'll probably have to update it to make it a little better. But overall, very, very happy with the battery. All right, let's talk a little bit about software. This is the part where the tablet falls down just a very slight bit, but I don't think it's Teclast's fault because this has a Unisoc T616 processor, which is the exact same as the one that I just brought over and showed you, my Teclast T40 Pro. So no change in the chipset. In fact, there's even more RAM than the one that I have over here, even more RAM. So why is this feel slower than this? I wonder why. And it comes down to one thing. The only thing I can think of or feel is the new Android. I suspect that the new Android is maybe a little bit heavier on the system, a little bit more resource intensive, and as well, I can also feel that I think they rejig the animation, so it feels a little bit more ponderous, a little bit slower, a little bit less snappy. And of course, there's hitches like that. See the hitch that you saw over there? Doesn't happen so much on the T40 Pro, which you can view my review up there. So I'm not as happy with the software. Kind of wish that Google in the first place didn't, I guess, change the animation run times to make it a little bit slower. But otherwise, I really like the tablet. It's fast. It launches things very, very quickly, as you can see. The new Android doesn't just bring caveats. It does bring improvements as well. One of the things I do like is the rejig of the home apps as well as the back button, where it kind of uses the tablet space more effectively. For example, you have your apps down here. You have your 3 buttons there because it's a big tablet. You don't need to occupy the entire bar with just these 3 buttons. You flip it over to portrait mode. It's the same thing, right? You have your frequently used apps, or not frequently, you have your app bar over here, and you have your three buttons over there. And of course, everything else works fine. See that? See that? When I pulled it down, it kind of hitched a little bit, and then I pulled it down again, and it's fine. So there are quality of life improvements to be had with the new Android, but that also comes with a little bit of a perceived performance penalty with regards to the animations and a little bit of lag and hitch here and there. That being said, though, just be aware that with this tablet you get 256 gigabytes of storage, which is quite a lot considering my old Teclast T40 Air Pro only had 128 gigs. So quite happy with the storage requirements or the storage on this. And I'm going to show you a little bit of performance in terms of gaming. For some reason, the gaming on this is also not great. It's a little bit worse than the Teclast T40 Pro. Could be down to the eMMC quality is the next thing I can think of, but let's open up FC Mobile and I'll show you what it's all about. Alright, so here I am playing FC24, and I'm currently playing this on lowest settings, and as you can see, it works well enough. It does work well enough. If you're looking at using this as a light gaming tablet, don't use it as a heavy gaming tablet because you're gonna be disappointed with it. What you really want is What you really want is a slightly more powerful tablet. This has a 2000 by 1200 resolution, and so it's gonna be a little bit difficult to have a good gaming performance here. This is a T616 tablet, or a Unisoc processor for a tablet, and you won't be able to play super intense games like Genshin. I think you can play a little bit, or if you're willing to live with very, very low frame rates, it probably will work. Just remember that I also had reviewed the T40 Pro, which has the exact same processor, the exact same screen, the exact same resolution. However, it has less RAM, but it still actually has slightly better gaming performance. I'm just not sure why it has slightly better gaming performance. But otherwise, it could be down to the Android, because the newer Android could be slightly more resource intensive, and as a result is causing the gaming performance to hitch slightly as well. So we'll see. But anyway, it's still good enough for gaming. Okay, let's shoot it. Can you pass? Oh, yeah. Rashford is my favorite, by the way, so he scored. But yeah, so if you want to use this for light gaming, you can. I was expecting very, very slightly better gaming performance, but it's slightly worse than the T40 Pro, even though it has more RAM. I think it's down to the Android resource intensiveness, the new Android, as well as maybe the quality of the eMMC. But then again, it should be fine because you have quite a good you have quite a lot of RAM, so you should be able to store it. But anyway, so gaming wise, good enough. Otherwise, everything else is fine. And let's see if I can score one more with Rashford. Yep, scores. Okay, all right, let's move on. Moving on to connectivity, here is where the Teclast T40 Air starts falling down a little bit compared to its older, more expensive sibling. The Wi-Fi chip in here must be a little bit worse than what you get in the T40 Pro. Granted, both of these don't have amazing Wi-Fi. Like, for example, if I'm using my T40 Pro upstairs very, very far away from the router, it'll cut in and out. Whereas with the T40 Air, if I'm using it in the exact same spot, it won't even connect at all because of how far it is. But again, those are extreme edge cases. I'm very, very far from the router. In fact, I'm probably, I don't know, how many meters am I? Maybe like 9, 10 meters low, so like 30 feet away from the router, 35 feet away from the router. Plus, there's walls and chairs and furniture in between. And in that case, the Wi-Fi reception is bad. So, but otherwise, like right now, I'm standing quite close to the router. Speeds are fine. They're okay. Just know that the reception here is not the best, and it probably won't be improved with firmware, unlike the Android. So just be aware of that. All right, last thing we'll talk about is the camera. The camera is really bad. You shouldn't even be using it, to be honest, at all. So I'm just gonna flip it around so you can see me. But otherwise, you shouldn't be using this camera at all because it's just really bad. And just say no thank you and use your phone camera, because even your grandma shouldn't be using this camera as a tablet or for a tablet. Final thoughts. So final thoughts with regards to this tablet, I'll say that it's decent. Like you can get it for about 190 bucks, which is even cheaper than the Teclast T40 Pro that I showed before. Exact same specs. It does have 8 gigs more RAM and 128 gigabytes of more storage. So if you're concerned about that, then those are very, very good things to want, because you're paying 30 bucks less and you're getting more RAM and you're getting more storage. The downsides, though, is that this runs a newer version of Android, which usually would be a good thing. However, the newer version of Android is a little bit slower. Gaming performance is slightly less, I would say maybe 5% less than before. And of course, the Wi-Fi reception is also slightly worse, which is, I'm guessing, where they cut the corners here compared to the Teclast T40 Pro, which I have right here. And I'm still using, by the way, because I like it quite a lot. So that's probably where they cut corners. But otherwise, it's still a very, very cheap tablet for the price, and I would highly, highly recommend it. All right, thanks so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.